Good morning, and this is Francis Matthew J. Minoza. Today I will discuss about cryptography and what is what it is all about, and what are their uses, their applications in the real life and in information systems. But first of all, I must apologize in advance for the background noise you will hear because I have no control over them. I hate them too. So please bear with me as I start this discussion now. What is cryptography? Cryptography is the science of keeping information secure by transforming it into form that unintended recipients cannot understand. In cryptography, an original human readable message, referred to as plain text, is changed by means of an algorithm or series of mathematical operations into something that, to an uninformed observer, would look like gibberish. This gibberish is called ciphertext. Cryptographic systems require some method for the intended recipient to be able to make use of the encrypted message, usually, though not always, by transforming the ciphertext back into plain text. Cryptography has found a wide range of applications. Many cryptographic tools use cryptography to create building blocks that provide privacy, authentication, anonymity, and other such properties. In turn, these tools can be used to create secure applications for users. Cryptography and cryptographic tools are particularly important for providing security in communications, networks, and on computer systems. One strong and very general tool, called secure multi-party computation, allows a group of parties, each holding a private input, to jointly compute an output dependent on their private inputs without revealing their private inputs to each other. Secure multi-party computation can be used to solve problems like electronic voting, electronic auctions, and many other such problems. In computer systems, cryptography can be used to provide access control and prevent unwanted intruders from reading files, changing files, or accessing other resources. Cryptography can be used to provide important security properties in electronic commerce. A now familiar example is the use of cryptography to authenticate a merchant and encrypt a credit card number when buying goods over the World Wide Web. Cryptography can also protect the provider of digital content such as music or video by ensuring that recipients cannot widely redistribute the content without being detected. In the future, more advanced applications of cryptography in electronic commerce may be seen, where credit cards are replaced by digital cash and automated agents securely participate in auctions on a user's behalf. What is cryptography used for? Authentication, digital signatures. Authentication and digital signatures are a very important application of public key cryptography. The only requirement is that public keys are associated with their users by a trusted manner, for example, a trusted directory. A certificate contains the certificate's issuer's name, the name of the subject for whom the certificate is being issued, the public key of the subject, and some timestamps. For example, if you receive a message from me that I have encrypted with my private key and you are able to decrypt it using my public key, you should feel reasonably certain that the message did in fact come from me. And if I think it is necessary to keep the message secret, I may encrypt the message with my private key and then with your public key. That way only you can read the message, and you will know that the message came from me. The second is timestamping. Timestamping is a technique that can certify that a certain electronic document or communication existed was delivered at a certain time. Timestamping is a critical application that will help make the transition to electronic legal documentations available. Sorry about that. Third, electronic money. It includes transactions carried out electronically with a net transfer of funds from one party to another, which may be either debit or credit and can be either anonymous or identified. Fourth, authentic secure network communications authenticates each end of the connection, server and client, with the second or client authentication being optional. Supports data encryption, server authentication, message integrity, and client authentication for TCP/IP connections. Fifth is anonymous remailers. It is a free service that strips off the header information from an electric message and passes along only the content. It's important to note that the remailer may retain your identity, and rather than trusting the operator, many users may relay their message to several anonymous remailers before sending it to its intended recipient. This way, only the first remailer has your identity, and from the endpoint, it's nearly impossible to retrace. And 6. Disk encryption. Disk encryption programs encrypt your entire hard disk so that you don't have to worry about leaving any traces of the unencrypted data on your disk. Whether the leakage from an encrypted email of 1,000 or even 10,000 such records constitutes a cost of your business is willing to pay should determine if you need to encrypt your emails. Applications of cryptography. These are also examples of how to protect information systems. So first is securing email communication. Prudent organizations should use file encryption methods to secure email communications where sensitive data is being sent. The most straightforward way to implement is pretty good privacy, which is a hybrid of asymmetric and symmetric encryption. Proper access of controls also contribute to this use of cryptography. In fact, unless your organization's IT security team operates on the least privileges principle, encrypting your trade secrets won't work anywhere near as well as it can. Many organizations of all sizes don't secure their email communications though, which is an undeniable information security risk. Second, protecting sensitive company data. Internally, organizations should be encrypting their own sensitive data, such as intellectual property, so that only certain privileged employees can access that information. In file-level encryption works best for protecting specific folders and files from malicious insiders and prying intruders. Combined with proper access controls, file-level encryption is imperative. Third, securing a website. One of the applications of cryptography in daily life that pretty much everyone benefits from is the use of HTTPS to secure communications over a network. HTTPS is an example of a cryptographic use case because its port number 443 is protected by an encryption algorithm. The older HTTP protocol is an unsecured version of HTTPS that communicates using clear text. HTTP is fine for blogs and other websites that don't transact in sensitive data. For the majority of businesses, it's an absolute must. Encrypting databases. One of the most important applications of cryptography in daily life is to secure sensitive records contained in databases. This use case of cryptography not only ensures compliance with industry regulations, it also protects the identities of customers. For example, a large dental practice might have a database with social security numbers and the other sensitive patient data. If that dental practice cares about compliance or patient confidentiality, it needs to encrypt either the full database or the specific records that are sensitive. And lastly, encrypting company devices. If you have a suite of company laptops or tablets to facilitate business travel or remote work arrangements, it is essential to encrypt the hard drives on every one of those devices if you want to maximize information security. This is particularly important for industries such as finance and healthcare, where sensitive data is protected by several regulations. And that was all for cryptography. And I hope you learned something about the discussion. And thank you so much for watching.